Sup dudes, how you doing? So I decided to make a video about how to improve your reaction time using Aim Hero. It's a game on Steam, and you can use this game for a variety of different things, including improving your reaction time, which is the purpose of this video. Now, reaction time in and of itself isn't something that's going to make too much of an impact in most things that you do in Overwatch. It's definitely something that would be more important in a game like Counter-Strike, but it's still something that you could find useful, and you can also improve it if you give it like 5 or 10 minutes a day during your aim drills or your warm-up. And my plan is to show you how to get that started here. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is pick up Aim Hero from the Steam store. It's only $4.99, but I think it's totally worth it for what you're using it for. Once you have it downloaded, you can actually set your Overwatch sensitivity in the game, or Counter-Strike as well, and then take a quick look at the different modes that there are. There's Reflex, Fast Aiming, and Lightning Gun. Reflex is more for instantaneous flick shots. Fast Aiming is what we're going to be covering in this guide if you spend your time here, which will help you aim more quickly, and additionally for reaction time. And finally, there is the Lightning Gun, which is for tracking. But before we get into Fast Aiming itself and the settings that I use, I'm going to want you guys to go to this website, humanbenchmark.com. I'll leave a link in the description as well. You can get an average of your reaction time, which is going to be important. You're going to need this number and a little bit of math, it's very simple, to figure out what settings you're going to need for Aim Hero. So once you've run the human benchmark test enough to be satisfied with your average reaction time, just take that number and put a decimal point in front of it. And then add an additional 0.150, and that'll give you the spawn rate that you're going to want to use in the game. So take that final number, go into the fast aiming mode in Aim Hero, custom skill, time limit 180. Now I use player distance 0 because I play a lot of Tracer and Genji, and it helps me most accurately represent point blank. Now, if you're not going for point blank distance for whatever reason, you can leave that at the default value, which is 4, or you can experiment around with it, but I go with 0. Target size, default 150. You can make that smaller if you really hate yourself and you want to miss a lot more shots. I tried it on 100 at first, but I ended up missing way too much because I'm getting used to a whole bunch of new stuff, so that doesn't really matter. Keep it on default, and then move on to your rate, which is that number that we just added up. Now, before you start it, just be ready to not succeed the first few times. It's going to be difficult, but the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. We picked the settings that we did, that additional 150 milliseconds, to give you some wiggle room, so you have some room for failure, because this exercise is 180 seconds long. And after a good amount of time, after about halfway through, you're going to start getting fatigued. But the more you do this, the more easily you'll be able to make it to the end. And after a while, you'll be able to make it very easily with almost no fatigue and no issue. Once that starts to happen, once you start completing it very easily, that's when you drop it down by another 0.01 on the spawn rate. So the targets spawn faster, and keep doing that until you reach another performance wall. And eventually, over time, you're going to start to notice that your reaction time is going to get better and better. You can track that by, like once a week going back to the Human Benchmark website and checking out just how much you've improved. Now, a lot of factors go into the Human Benchmark test. If you're tired, if you're hungry, if you've been doing something like this aim training for a long time, over an extended period of time in a day, I don't recommend doing it for too long so you don't, get cottage cheese brain or get fatigued, as normal people call it. But it's definitely a good idea to check on it every once in a while, just to get an idea. And let me know. Let me know down below in the comments, did this help you out? Have you improved your reaction time using this guide? Give me suggestions, give me comments, critiques, anything that I could have added, anything I did wrong. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you want any additional information, I have a whole bunch of stuff in my Discord, discord.gg/Fody. I will leave a link in the description. I've got a bunch of information that you can probably use to your advantage on Overwatch and a bunch of other stuff. If you just want to talk to the rest of the community, if you want to see when I go live on Twitch or anything along those lines, join it. I'll leave all the information down below as well. You guys have a good rest of your day. Don't go too far. I'll catch y'all around.